Mr. Dowd, thank you for those kind words. I'm cheered to hear that my shadow grows longer as I age. Honestly, though, I have to admit some trepidation following Jeff as a speaker, a fear that Hal seemed to confirm some months ago. Jeff Dowd, he gushed. Amazing, think of the crowd we'll get. So apparently I'm the house band following the main act. A little bit more background about having my name at Selwyn House. Back in the 70s, when I was over at Loyola, I honestly never heard of the school. The 51 and the 102 did not run through Westmount. We knew about LCC because they fielded pretty good teams, and my buddy Ken Cobo and cousin Chris and Hal were over there. But the Jesuits had apparently heard of Selwyn, as they seemed more than happy to set up exhibition games against this oddly named place, apparently for remedial athletes. I applied to teach on a flute. My sister Carolyn had seen a one-at. As a young staffer, I then reconnected with cousin Craig, whom I'd known as the James Bondish oldest son of 5 from Grove Park. Anyway, his brother Chris has said that when Craig and his 4 brothers were enrolled, not a penny off for Jack and Nan, apparently, our staff was so formal that they were known simply to Shannon as 1 through 5. I guess my leaving here draws the curtain on our little family run. By the way, even though Craig's was a single family record, it falls before the numberless Sukases, or Sukai, who at one point were 8 enrollees. Counting in my cousin Debbie's son Sean, Trevor Shannon, my cousin Billy's kids, my sister Carolyn's son Matthew, my own sons Liam, Connor, and James, and my tendency on staff, there's been someone named Shannon here for over 100 years. The family tree says we were all begat from one John Shannon, born in 1793 in Northern Ireland, and later settled in Hemmingford with 3 sheep, 5 cows, and 7 chickens. Craig, we're moving on up. This award's been given to some impressive people, some of whom are here tonight. Unless you blink, the slideshow featured Will Mitchell, my first headmaster, and the youngest man in any room, Will Daly, who surely by now has golfed his age, which is 61. Winners include Michael and Lorna Denham, whose boys I taught, along with Brian Fitzpatrick, John Hallward, the Smiths, Ellen Pinchuk, Tim Carsley here tonight, Colin Boyle, and the Goldblums. Rob Waring died exactly a year ago this week, and like all of you, I would have cherished seeing him one more time. As Will has said, there might be other guys like Rob in the world, but we had the original. It's good to see Ben and Esther here. I also want to thank Hal Hannaford for supporting me these, I think it's 10 years now. Hal knows that little things like birthday cards and compliments are really big things. I also want to publicly name the ageless Barry Williams, who 18 years ago suggested to Will that I replace him. Because of Barry, I could pretend all this time in my letters of recommendation that I was a real writer. I want to recognize some of my friends still laboring in the vineyards. As I shared this morning, Leanna paid me the compliment last spring of saying that I'd spent my whole career promoting the written word, but would sooner hang out with done jobs. High on this list is Marty Boyle. But Marty's actually missing this joke because he's got the flu he's at home in, who combines a suspiciously close knowledge of the Archie collection with advanced child psychology. No one on staff has a better touch with kids. I also want to thank Alf and Pete, who old-timers now. What can I say? The joy of teaching lies both with students and colleagues, and these guys have been my mates for 30 years. A special thanks to a former top student of mine who's become our family surgeon, by the way, along with Peter Matrakos, Dr. Prasanto Chaudhry. I think that Prasanto has actually operated on my family 5 times. So, Prasanto, here's to not seeing you anymore. In attendance tonight, come from away, so to speak, are some other special people, and I just want to list a couple. My close friend and Forbes Trophy winner, Dr. Gordy Braden, and his wife Karen, standing right there. Long ball hitter Rick Burgos, and his wife Annie Claude. McGill Sports Information Director, Mr. Earl Zuckerman, Rod Matheson and Margaret McLean. My dentist and golf partner, Dr. Jay McMullen, and his wife Heather. My Redmond teammates and captains, Mike Nelson and Ken Coble, and Mike's wife Liliana. 2 McGill goalies, Larry Rush, and Mike Farmer from the days when the Redmond name meant red in the face. My Irish golf pal Larry Dion, his wife Megan, Jim and Michelle Wilson, John Cammett, my brothers Kevin and sister Terry and Kathy and Carolyn, and another great McGill couple, Rick Rusk and Annette Kiss. Welcome to Selenos. To anyone here who taught my sons in junior and middle school, Roman, Natalie, Claudine, Carol, Kathy, Ellen, I know I'm missing somebody, I hope you find a moment to say hi. I would especially point out that Liam, who is Paula's legatee as our family traveler, and by the way, Liam this fall spent a weekend on an island off the coast of Scotland in the World Stone Skimming Competition, coming in 18th. True story, he's got the t-shirt. Liam was given his start in Natalie Gervais' grade 2 class, where after finagling a bathroom break would simply leave for 60 minutes and walk away. To the parents here, excluding Mike Avedisian or Avo, I learned last year that Mike's kids have no first names, they're all called Avo. The ones who never sat in on an English class here, let me share a secret. This isn't really work. All my life I've enjoyed the privilege of discussing great fiction with your sons. Everything you wanted to do at the dinner table but couldn't. My friend Tom Nickel once remarked that the subject that most brings grown men to tears is their fathers. So when my classes discussed the scene in Death of a Salesman when Biff at 34 must tell his dad that he's not bringing home any prizes anymore. Your sons thought of you, but they could speak to me. When Hamlet laments that Denmark's invaders go to their graves like beds to defend a piece of ground not worth naming, your sons could air opinions about language or war that you suspected they had, but were lost behind the gaming console. The people I taught English with these years, Byron Harker, Kathy Biggs, Leanna Palco, Bob Blueskill, Jeff, Jim Willett, John Bracewell, Lindsay Foran, have equally enjoyed what has been called a great conversation. Definitely not work. The fine print of my biography notes that I coached hockey here for almost 20 years, so something should be said about this. If Tim Fleiser were here tonight, Tim works on CTE with pro athletes. You might hear him lobby to swap our varsity programs for intramurals, as we seem to have cornered the market in my time on vulnerably small, slow boys. But if we put our kids in harm's way, psychologically if not physically, I also doubt that anyone who played for me or Steve or Tom or Mike Morovich would trade a single minute of those afternoons. We were always underdogs. Would have been a better crest. I remember falling 16-4 to Rennie, losing my voice, but I also remember ties and wins we didn't deserve. Actually, this might be the time and place to actually mention one win. Selwyn took the Bantam City Championship in 2010 against a team with now Florida Panther Mike Matheson on it. Rod and Margaret, no hard feelings. The class act was Tom and Steve, who would assume control of terrified boys from Dave Cute or Chantal or a rotating cast of clinically depressed Pee-wee coaches and convince them that they were better than they were. Every player, no matter his line, had a role. There's actually a story unconfirmed of one forward proudly dumping it in on a breakaway. So it's cheering and hopeful to see the program in such good hands now with Chris LaPearl, who in a wild coincidence was raised in Exeter, New Hampshire. As of all Speirs recipients, I take a fair amount of institutional memory with me. I can remember Rob Waring offering up his home in NDG to more than one troubled kid. We never knew what Esther thought of this. I remember Dave Q tending Barn Verdun, beginning to weave a story and there soon being a dozen guys listening. I remember the usually ambitious plays that Byron put on. Kathy Biggs will remember that we didn't cut a single line from Hamlet, and that with Mark Kruzhelnicki's help with sets, boys who had never even spoken in class would step forward to act their hearts out. Moms like Tassie McIntyre and Diana Kilman, and later Christine Dow, and so many lovers of the school raised the bar for everyone. I remember my son James, who was not built for land speed. James has other good qualities. Having Bruce Glasspool one year for both advanced math and cross-country running and keeping pace with Bruce to the top of the mountain. Our math and science teachers are still exceptional. One spring day, now about 6 years ago, my best grade 10 ever, the one including Matthew Schwartzman, Sterling Mitchell, Matt Rossi, Liam Shannon, Bernard Richard Torres, David Smith, and David Dakotas, played their hearts out for Alf and Pete in the City Rugby Championship. I was beyond proud. Now that it's over, and I joined the stenciled names on the back wall, I clearly see that Selwyn gave me more, gave my family more than I could ever give back. It allowed Paul and me to raise our sons far more fully than we could have hoped. I got to watch them screw up. I had a front row seat at the show, but also to find their voices. I saw them learn how to read, thank you, Roman, and to write, and to factor equations and watch things go pow and beakers, to fill out the scholastic order and get high knees from Marty, but mostly to feel that they belonged. Selwyn was our village. I can assure you that Paula did not marry me for my money. But our being here has been literally priceless. I'm truly honored.